Hi there. In today's video, we are going to talk about things to consider when moving to Michigan. Now, if you are considering relocating to Michigan, if you have a potential job opportunity, if you have family in Michigan and you're thinking about it, but you want to know a little of the things that are common, maybe some pros and cons, we are going to talk about a couple of those things today. So if that's you, I want you to stay tuned. So I want to welcome you all back to my channel. My name is Tiffany T. I am the Lux Realtor. I am born and raised in Michigan. I have lived here my entire life. I don't want to say I've never considered relocating because I have, but I've always ultimately stayed in Michigan. And one of the reasons is going to be the very first thing that I want you to consider when coming to Michigan, and that is going to be our weather. Now, everyone is different, of course, but Michigan gets all 4 seasons. And when I say we get all 4 seasons, we get all 4 seasons. So you're going to get your winters that is going to be cold, that is going to have snow. The kids are going to have snow days. And then you are also going to get your spring. You're going to get that rain. You're going to have those chillier afternoons, those chillier evenings, those maybe cooler or warmer mornings. And then you're going to get your summer. It is going to be hot. The sun is going to shine. You're going to want to go to the beach. You're going to take the kids to the splash pad. And then you're going to get your fall, the season that most people love, right? So you're going to get those beautiful trees, the leaves. Again, you're going to experience that warm weather, but it's weather where you can still be outside, but have on a jacket, get those layered, looks going. So Michigan absolutely gets all 4 seasons. So if you're someone who you're like, I just want it hot, I cannot do snow, I can never do snow, then Michigan may not be for you. Or I know people who have homes. I have a really great business partner who has a home here in Michigan. This is where she's from. And then her and her husband has a home in Florida. So when it is like too cold, they just go to Florida and then they're also here. So again, when you're moving to Michigan, you have to highly consider that weather and what that is going to look like if you are ready for that cold, if you're ready for that snow. I know for me, as I said, one of the reasons that I love Michigan, and if I relocate, I feel like I need all 4 seasons, is because I cannot live without cold and snow during Christmas time. Okay, I don't need it all year long, but during Christmas to me is incomplete without snow and the cold. But for you, you may say, during Christmas time, I still need warm temperatures. So I just want to make sure that although I love Michigan, and I definitely would love to be your realtor, if you are looking, that you definitely consider the weather if Michigan is an area that you're considering. So thing number 2 to consider if you are looking to move to Michigan is going to be our cost of housing. I like to identify Michigan as the middle point. So there are just certain states or certain areas that if you think of, or if you say this state, you're going to think, oh, it's expensive to live there. And then there are other states that if you think of, it's like, oh, that's doable, right? That the cost of living, or the cost of housing, because cost of living and cost of housing is 2 different things, but cost of housing, you would say, well, that's probably very doable and very affordable, or lower when it comes to the cost of housing. I like to look at Michigan as that middle point. So it's not super expensive. You don't have to feel like I've got to be a millionaire to live here. I have to be making 6 figures. And it's not necessarily the lowest of low, but it is right at that middle point. And I love that because you have options. Whether you're looking to rent something first, if you're looking to do a short-term lease, or if you want to come right out of the gate and purchase a property. Now, we know overall right now the industry, we are seeing high interest rates everywhere, right? We know that overall there is kind of a low inventory when it comes to buyers. But if you are looking to purchase and if you're looking to move to Michigan, we do still have inventory. We are seeing, rentals come on the market. We are actually seeing a lot of new builds. So that's something too to take into consideration. The inventory is low when it comes to you maybe looking for a house right now. You're, wanting to get in that next 30 days, in that next 45 days. But if you have the time, I would definitely consider looking into new builds. I'll do an entirely separate video just kind of showing some of our popular areas that do have a lot of new builds coming up. But again, to answer the low inventory, we are seeing a lot of developers building properties, buying up land and being able to build on those, or even doing tear downs and completely rebuilding. So just kind of, again, to just touch the point of the cost of housing when it comes to Michigan, you can definitely find some rentals depending on your area. I mean, you can as low as $800, $825, $900, depending on if it's just you, if it's you and a family. You can also find some rental, properties within that $1,000 to $2,000 range. And then of course, if you want to purchase and you're looking for something high end, which is my specialty of luxury, we have that available in the market, even high-end leases, not just high-end purchases. So again, when considering Michigan, I would say that our cost of housing is going to be that middle point. Something to consider here, though, in all honesty, our taxes can be pretty high. So of course, when you are looking to purchase, you're looking to relocate, you want to kind of consider that. That'll be something that I can definitely help you look into, just seeing the taxes and just making sure that it makes sense. Because ultimately, when it comes to the cost of housing, it's really that monthly that you're going to be paying, right? So there may be some portion within that monthly that is a little high, but there's another portion that's low, and you're right at that mark of where you say, I don't want to go over $2,000 a month for my cost of housing, whether that is renting a property or it is having a mortgage. So while the taxes can be high, I think it's more so looking at what is that monthly budget for me that I don't want to go over when it comes to my cost of housing, and then we can kind of search from there. So again, when considering Michigan, we are that middle point. You definitely can afford us. Just about any household, I think, could live in Michigan. We know that just about any household can't necessarily live in a New York or California, depending on where, right? There is a certain price range when you move to those areas. But I think Michigan is one of those areas that just about any household can live in Michigan. But as always, give me a call. Let me look at your budget. Let me see where you are, and I can steer you into some great directions that'll be perfect for you if you're coming alone or you and your family. So thing number 3 to consider when moving to Michigan is going to be things to do, your enjoyment, your entertainment. One thing that I really appreciate about Michigan is that we have a lot of cities that have their own downtowns. There are some places that have just this one main downtown, but in Michigan, particularly Metro Detroit, where I focus on, your Wayne, Oakland, Macomb counties, you're going to have a lot of those cities that have their own downtowns. Plymouth has its own downtown. Clawson has a nice small downtown area. And then of course, Detroit has, that's our major or main downtown, if you will. So when it comes to things to do, there are so many things to do, and you don't have to feel like you've got to travel super far to this one hot area. Now, if you are looking for specific things, you may find those in a certain downtown. But again, there are multiple different cities that have their own small downtown pockets. So you're going to find things to do no matter where you are. So you think about standard, restaurants. And it's not always just a restaurant to eat. Sometimes you want a restaurant that has karaoke, or it has different games and different things like that. And again, we have a lot of that. Also, we have a lot of new coffee shops that are popping up. Of course, we all love our Starbucks, right? I love a good Starbucks, love going there, hanging out, maybe doing some work. But we also have some really nice coffee shops in these different areas and in these different downtowns that are bringing a different twist to hanging out at a coffee shop. I know one of the coffee shops in our Royal Oak. So Royal Oak is a really popular city here. Royal Oak kind of has its downtown, and there's a nice coffee shop there, and they actually do karaoke. There are a lot of people who are looking to kind of get out there as far as their gifts and their talents. And on Wednesday nights, they open it up. So it's an open mic night. And then they also have couches. So it's not just a standard coffee shop with the tables and you just come in, sit at the table, get your coffee. It's more a lounge style that we are seeing in a lot of the coffee shops that are now being, birthed or popping up around our different downtown areas. Now, Downtown Detroit. You guys, whatever you've heard about Detroit, get it out of your mind. There has been so much rebuilding, so much gentrification, just so many amazing things. I mean, even just the cost of housing. There are some investors that has come and bought up Detroit and really made some amazing changes down there. So individuals are flocking to our Detroit and our downtown Detroit area. Our downtown Detroit does house the arenas for our major sports. So if you are, again, looking for entertainment as far as sports, you're a sports head, hockey, football, basketball, downtown Detroit does house those arenas. We also have some amazing spaces where big concerts take place in our downtown area as well. We have tons of shopping. And another thing that I love is we have a great mixture of like boutique businesses, small businesses that you may not see everywhere. You may not see in other cities. You may not see in other states. And we have the major chains, right? So you may see your H&M and then you may see that boutique business that a local opened up. So again, when it comes to entertainment, things to do, sports, our downtown Detroit area is definitely one to consider. I promise you, if you come here, you won't be bored. There are things to do, even in, I talked about as our first thing to consider, even in the weather, the cold weather, there are still so many amazing things to do, amazing things to consider here. While I don't service Traverse City and like the upper north, I do have business partners if that's where you want to go. And during the winter, absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So again, if you're thinking of, wanting to go somewhere that has entertainment, that has things to do, Michigan definitely offers some great things to do. And remember, we have those pockets of downtown that you don't have to necessarily go to downtown Detroit if you live 40 and 50 minutes away. But if you do want to have a place that has that major sports and it is easily accessible, downtown Detroit is going to be that place to look into. And the last thing that I want to share with you today in today's video, I've got so much more for you if you are thinking of relocating to Michigan, or even if you live in Michigan and you just want to know how to navigate or know a little more about different areas. But the last thing that I kind of want to share when it comes to considering Michigan is going to be that I believe that we are an opportunity state. And so what I mean by that is just an opportunity to develop, an opportunity, for financial growth and income. And so the main area that I want to focus on with this is real estate investing. There are so many out-of-state investors right now who come to call and connect with realtors in Michigan for our real estate investment opportunities. We have land, we have tear down, we just have areas that have been run down that are a gold mine for a real estate investor. So if you want to, move here, but then you also want opportunities that are here for you to build wealth for yourself, for your family, or for your future family, I am telling you, our real estate investment has so much opportunity. I was actually just talking with the client who is looking into purchasing a home through the auction. So there's a ton of, lots available on the auction. Again, properties that are available. But even if you don't want to wait until the auctions happen each year, we have so much land and so much property that is available to flip, to become, or where you can buy and hold to where you are a landlord. So again, something to consider is the opportunity that is here. If you want to get into real estate investing, I promise you Michigan is such a great place to do so, because again, just like the cost of housing is not super high depending on where you go, the cost of investing can be the exact same. Even if you want to invest in luxury, or even if you want to live luxury, our luxury properties can start at $400,000, and the square footage, the areas, what they offer is amazing. So if you want to know more about Michigan real estate, if you want to get more in depth, particularly, again, my expertise is our Metro Detroit. So that's going to be Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties, and some parts of Washtenaw County. I am going to be your girl. Give me a call or shoot me a text. If you're looking outside of those areas, I have amazing business partners all over the state that I can also refer you to. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you are considering moving to Michigan, or if you live in Michigan now and you're considering moving into a different city, a different area, give me a call. I'm your girl. I'll talk to you soon.